Good morning. Welcome back to Unraveled Beer Thoughts. And we have the fourth, and unless I get another one, final barrel aged Velvet Rush. Or Velvet Rush is a barrel aged beer by Founders. Imperial Brown Ale with coffee, chocolate, vanilla extract, and sugar aged in milk sugar aged in bourbon barrels. So this should have some lactose to it, I guess. Uh, Brown ale. Again, kind of like the porter that I did last time, the Panther Cub. I would tend to think this is going to be a little bit lighter on the ABV, although I will say the porter was a 9.2%, which was, even for a barrel aged porter, was pretty high. And this one is 11.1, which is super high for a brown ale. So, we'll see how this goes. Velvet Rush, neat bottle, cool art. This is the one I was kind of the most excited about. That's why I saved it for last. Last? Last? What did I say last? It definitely looks more brown ale in color. It's not as dark as the last several, the porter and the other two prior to that were stouts. So, when it comes to coloration and that sort of thing, spot on. I'm a little bit surprised that it actually kind of smells like a brown ale. I mean, I know it's a brown ale, but there's like some coffee notes that come through in the aroma and probably a tad bit of chocolate, but kind of a brownish ale aroma to it. I, I actually expected it would kind of have a sweeter note to it or maybe come off like a stout because it's 11.1, so I just thought it would be a little bit more. Mm, very sweet, but not overly sweet. Again, kind of like the Panther Cub, doesn't have sweetness that seems to come from we just didn't let the yeast eat through as many sugars. This sweetness is good and tastes purposeful. I think personally, I would like a little bit more bitterness, but that is not bad. And I think this is going to hit home with a lot of folks who drink it. I mean, that is a good beer. There's not. How much heat am I getting off at? It does not. I don't think it tastes like 11.1. You can feel it on the back end, the very back end. It's there, some of that heat from the alcohol, but it is well concealed within the beer overall. That is well done. I'm not sure if it's my favorite of the four. I almost would like to taste this next to a Panther Cub, but I kind of think, and I think Panther Cub was just a little bit more, had a little more bitterness to it, and I like that. It wasn't quite as sweet, which is this is sweeter, and I tend to like less sweet beers. So my favorite standard beer that I try to keep at all times is and I'm sorry, I'm shaking this camera a lot probably, is the Yeti Great Divide. Just the basic Yeti Great Divide. I like some of the adjuncts, but the Yeti itself is one of my favorites. So good. Dark, bitter, chocolate coffee, lots of good flavors. I love it. It's one of my, it's just such a great beer. Um, so I tend to swing toward more bitter beers. And so that's why I might swing toward Panther Cub slightly more than this because there's a little bit more bitterness. Um, and a little less sweetness. I probably should say a little less sweetness than bitterness because I don't know that the Panther Cup was bitter, just just less sweet. Um, so this is good. This is good. I would I would buy this. I would buy a 4 pack of this for sure. Um, you know what? If I was actually buying with the sheer purpose of sharing it with others, I might get this one over Panther Cub because I think more people will like this than the Panther Cub. And then if I was picking between the four that I tried, I'd probably go Panther Cub for if it was just me planning to drink it. So all good. If you have had the Velvet Rush, I'd love to hear your comments. Love to hear comments on what you think of all four of these Founders beers, and definitely if there's something you would love to see me do a review of, post it in the comments. Thank you for joining me today on Unraveled Beer Thoughts. Until next time, have a great weekend.